is broken, and nothing's going right.
This wall's been building in your mind, but you'll find a way to live these dreams you hold inside.
The Michigan Supreme Court is out of control. The Michigan Supreme Court is creating legislation, and this court is completely out of order. The Michigan Supreme Court is creating Michigan Court Rules, the MCR, that now take precedence and priority over Michigan legislation in every Michigan court. This is a usurpation. This is a usurpation of power never granted the Michigan Supreme Court. This is treason. This is direct treason by the Supreme Court and indirect treason by the legislative and executive branches of Michigan government for allowing it to happen unopposed. The people of Michigan won't generally need to worry about this treasonous act of Michigan's highest public court until they find themselves in court, but then it's too late. When you find yourself in a Michigan courtroom with Michigan bar-carded judges and Michigan bar-carded lawyers and Michigan bar-carded prosecutors that openly practice the intentional violation of your due process rights, it really isn't a good time to start questioning the legitimacy and the constitutionality of the court itself. Here's a quick example. Michigan Court Rule 3.920H, as in hotel, reads as follows. MCR 3.920H, Notice Defects. The appearance and participation of a party at a hearing is a waiver by that party of defects in service with respect to that hearing unless objections regarding the specific defect are placed on the record. If a party appears or participates without an attorney, the court shall advise the party that the appearance and participation waives notice defects and of the party's right to seek an attorney. Let's just reflect on this for a moment. The first reflection should be that notice defects in any suit, in any legitimate court, are completely terminal to the proceedings themselves. In case you don't know what that means, the proceedings are completely null and void. If you have not been properly summoned to court with sufficient time to prepare yourself and been allowed to attempt to find competent legal counsel of your choice, you have been denied your Fifth Amendment right of due process and your Sixth Amendment right to counsel of your choice. Two constitutional violations in a single act by a court that you are expecting to play fair? If you are unable or fail to recognize these immediate violations of your constitutional rights, you are in a sense telling the court that it has your permission to do with you as they please. If you have not been properly and lawfully notified of the proceedings against you and you find yourself in court anyway, because the state has kidnapped your children and you want them back, you haven't waived shit. First of all, it's impossible for you to waive your right to due process. This right belongs to you so long as you draw breath. You can't give it away, you can't waive it. It's as much a part of you as your own fingerprint. The court rule created by the Michigan Supreme Court and given more priority than Michigan legislation in Michigan courtrooms is attempting to do the impossible. Keep in mind that the illegitimacy of the proceedings initiated absent due process are void from the absolute beginning. Nothing in the court case against you has a single shred of legitimacy. With this in mind, how then would you need to object to anything that does not exist? This Michigan court rule claims that you need to object when in fact you don't, because notice defects erase the case altogether and in its entirety. The proceedings are completely null and void ab initio, from the beginning. So if the case doesn't exist, why then would you need to object to anything other than the fact that the court is perpetrating a fraud and a trespass upon you and your person, and even perhaps your children. This information is exclusive to the people of Michigan. Although similar mechanisms exist in every state, the state laws and court rules are entirely different in each state. Michigan is not the only perpetrator of these crimes against the American family. Shortly after I made this information public in 2015, my home was raided and all of my computers and digital camera equipment was stolen by the Isabella County Sheriff Leo Medashevsky. Additionally, Supreme Court Justice Mary Kelly resigned her seat on the Supreme Court and went back into private practice. In addition to the court rules being treasonous, the court rules specified here is additionally criminal as per Title 18 United States Code, Sections 241 and 242, and includes a provision for a sentence of death if a kidnapping is involved, and this court rule was written to more efficiently and effectively kidnap Michigan children. My name is Ted Visner, and I can't stand what's going on here in my home state of Michigan. I am entirely pissed off, and I'm not afraid to tell you about it. Every Michigan representative is aware of these claims and will never talk about them in any public format. I will include the phone and fax numbers in the description below for the Michigan Attorney General Bill Schuette, the Michigan Governor Rick Snyder. This same information should be shared by you to your own local county board of commissioners, your own local county sheriff, and your own local county prosecutors and assistant prosecutors. All of these people need to know that we are all paying attention and that we are all pissed that these things can happen in our civilized society.